Thanks very much. So, as Spencer mentioned, my name's Scott Meyer. I'm the CEO and founder of Evidon. We're a venture-backed startup. We are just a little over 2 years old, and so, at this early stage of the morning, everyone's shaking out the cobwebs. I'm going to try to make privacy sexy for you in about 5 minutes because we're not the only ones that thinks privacy is sexy anymore, but I've got to convince you. We do 3 things at Evidon. We make tools that help consumers better manage their privacy online. We have monitoring and other services that make websites run faster and be more secure relative to all the third-party tracking that's going on out there. Really the topics that David Kenny and Guillaume Lacroix talked about yesterday, where often the website operator has no idea what's going on their own website. And then finally, we help companies in the US and Europe to comply with new rules and privacy laws, principally through the delivery of the Ad Choices icon, to make it simple and scalable for you to give consumers the transparency and the ability to make informed choices. Our big clients are people like VivaKey, other major ad agency holding groups, companies like Adobe and Dell, and Procter & Gamble, Walmart, and American Express, and we work with more than 50 ad networks around the world, many of whom are here in this room. So let me start off by showing you the consumer application, which is Ghostery. So how many of you have heard of Ghostery? So if you haven't, Ghostery is a script, it's a transparency tool. It's a plugin, runs on every browser, and it will blow your mind because it'll show you everybody who's tracking you on every page on the web. So here's how it works on a popular French website. So let me just load this up. So when you've got Ghostery installed, what you'll see here in this purple box, okay, this is everybody who's tracking you on this one page on lemonde.fr. And using Ghostery, you can go a little deeper and actually find out all the rich detail of who these companies are, and you can in fact go right in and block them from tracking you. So from a consumer perspective, this now essentially makes you invisible to being tracked. But there's another side of it for the website operator, because across all of lemonde.fr, there aren't just 11 companies tracking you, there's all of these companies tracking you. This matters for a lot of reasons. The first one is obviously privacy, because to comply with the privacy directive in the EU, you need to disclose this and give consumers the ability to give informed consent. More importantly, or as importantly, if you run this website, each one of these trackers is a round trip to the server, slows your website down, data's leaking out. I would imagine that Le Monde has no idea that there's 127 companies here and they don't have business relationships with 127. It hurts your search optimization, it hurts your conversions, so there's a direct revenue and cost issue that comes with knowing who's on your website. So that's the first thing that we do for websites, where we actually will then run the monitoring to help you know who's on your site so you can manage it. And then we take these data and we package it up to make it simple for you to comply with these privacy guidelines. So this is a sample US site working with a partnership that we just announced with our friends at Akamai, where using those data, we can feed it back in to this Ad Choices icon in the corner. So for those of you who can't see it, when you click on it, it'll pop up and show you everything that's happening in terms of tracking, and you can, with 2 clicks, opt out of being tracked. This also applies to the ads that you run. So if you're an advertiser, this is an example of a Ford ad. And so since we know that you're in France, we're available in 14 languages, and we're fully deployed across the entire EU. We've been so for about 6 months. So it says Ad Choices in French. By the way, I speak no French, so apologies, but I didn't do the translation, fortunately. When you click on it, it'll explain to you that this is a targeted ad, that data is being collected, and you can click on these links to find out how to opt out, more information about the ads, and then it takes you to this page, which again will explain to you, here's how data improves your web experience, here's what's happening if you choose to opt out, and then very simply with 2 clicks, I'm out. So this satisfies all of the informed consent rules that are coming into place in the EU, and it's already broadly deployed. We serve close to 1 billion ad impressions a day in the United States with this technology for more than 170 clients. And then the last thing I'll show you is mobile, because the future of where privacy is going is into mobile, and that's in fact much more concerning because the device is so personal. So we've just launched the first privacy-safe mobile web browser. It's available in the App Store right now. Just go to the App Store and search for Ghostery, and here's how it works. So Ghostery will load just like a regular web browser. You can surf to your favorite web pages, and when the page loads, Ghostery will show you everybody who's tracking you. You can find out more about who these companies are, and you can click on the little ghost here and actually go through and block these companies from tracking you. So now what you can do is, as you go across the web on your mobile device for both your iPad and your iPhone, you can actually know who's tracking you on each one of these pages and control the tracking. And this is the same data that we'll be able to use for WAP sites that we use for regular desktop sites. So you can manage your tracking, know who's there, make your sites run more efficient. So hope I made it a little sexier at this early hour. Thanks very much.